Now, Scotland's First Minister, Nicola Sturgeon, announced the country's vaccine passport system will not be extended to more venues. The scheme is currently in place for nightclubs and large events, and she'd previously considered expanding the use of vaccine passports to cinemas, theatres and other hospitality venues.
Well, instead, people will be allowed to present a negative COVID test rather than the proof of 2 jabs to enter these large venues from December the 6th, with smaller hospitality venues exempt.
To discuss whether this provides any relief to Scotland's pubs is Steve Latto, owner of the Criterion pub in St Andrews. Steve, is this what you wanted?
Absolutely, yes. I think it's a bit of sense coming from the Scottish Government at the moment. We need to cut down on transmission rates, not force people to take on passports that doesn't stop the transmission.
Are you getting a bit frustrated that it's the lack of clarity that I think some people are finding so difficult, that Nicola Sturgeon 1 minute says we may do something, then she says, oh, well, it's all right, we won't do that. I mean, yes, it brings relief, but there's always that air of uncertainty about all this.
Yeah, I think she's been pretty clear and left it hanging over us that it could come back in. It's certainly not off the table from what I gathered from yesterday's discussions, that they said we welcome the fact that she's not brought it in just now, but she did say that it could come in again at another time. And I think if you look at this time last year, she closed us down pretty much completely because we couldn't sell alcohol. So, you know, that came very quickly, and I think we're always expecting the worst to happen. So it's a challenging time at the moment, and I think a lot of people are expecting the passports to come in at some point, unfortunately.
Because that uncertainty exists not just for you, but for your customers. And people have sort of been joking this week around this phrase, Hogo, the hassle of going out. Actually, there is so much more admin now associated with going to the pub and having a pint.
Yeah, there's a huge barrier to entry now. The sign above our door says meeting house since 1874. This is a place where people from all walks of life come in and meet other people, socialise. It's good for their mental health. We have a number of elderly people that just don't have the facility to have this COVID passport on their phone. We've also, the COVID passport also isn't recognising thousands of people at the moment. If you've got a vaccination in England and then get your second one in Scotland, you can't marry them together. There's a number of issues with the vaccine passport at the moment, and had they brought that in, then it would have been a complete disaster for hospitality and wherever else they were going to bring in. I know the cinema businesses were against it also. And what we've got to look at is how we cut down on transmission and putting the responsibility on everybody. If they are going out to socialise, then an LFT before you go out is the best way to do it. And then we know that we've got less of a chance of transmitting the disease on.
Have you heard of that term Hogo before?
No, that's the first time I've heard of it.
Oh, God, thank you. I thought I was the only one, because I just looked at Rosie and said, Hogo? Hassle of going out?
Yeah, it's been on the front page of some of the papers this week, Simon.
Oh, OK. Well, that's you and me told, Steve. Thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks. Great to see you. Thanks, Steve Latto.